Welcome back here to Good Day Las Vegas. We're joined once again by Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo for a morning cup of Joe. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sheriff. Great to have you. We've been talking a lot about this new homeless ordinance in the city of Las Vegas. Takes effect on February 1st. From Metro's side, what is the plan for enforcement?
You know, because it's new, they think we've adjusted a lot of resources and ideas to address the homeless, where in fact we haven't. It's going to be the same amount of resources we currently have. What it is it's just more of a defined boundary where there's less ability to camp or loiter, or those boundaries have been defined to the benefit of businesses. So the officers are aware of those boundaries, and what they do now is when they approach the homeless, they advise them whether or not there's services available. And if they're service averse, they refuse the offer of services. We ask them to leave, and if they fail to leave, then we either issue a citation or effect an arrest.
What discussions, if any, has Metro had with city staff about crafting this, or the logistics of this, or just leading up to this? How often have you been in contact, or anyone with Metro?
Well,
with City Hall?
that's the bureau commanders, the captains of those specific areas, which would be downtown and Bolden. That's the majority of the areas. They're in constant contact with the city attorney and the public works within the city. So those are ongoing conversations. I mean, I had the initial conversations with the mayor and the city council, and then now it's pushed down to the worker bees per se, the people that are going to affect the ordinance or enforce the ordinance. It's going to be a continued conversation. You know, you got to work out the logistics of the ability of the officer to contact the service providers and have the knowledge of whether there's services available or not. So they're actually making a trip out to Salt Lake City here in the short term because they have a similar type program there to evaluate what's going on there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a coordinated effort among several agencies.
Right.
So we will keep an eye on that. So changing gears, Sheriff, what's the expansion, the status rather of the expansion on the training facility in the northeast part of the valley?
We're still in the fundraising mode. You know, the initial phase of that is right around 25 million. That's our ideal number we try to achieve. We've been raising money for the past 2 years now. The land has been cleared. It's been identified and cleared, and the plans, the blue lines have been drawn. So it's progressing, but everything takes money, right? So we're asking for the public's help, per se, and, you know, more in the business community and donations to move this forward, because it's a private enterprise versus taxpayer enterprise, and it's important for people to realize that. And you know, it's a state-of-the-art, best practice training facility to provide to all of law enforcement, not just Metro. So it's intended to be a regional facility, and hopefully we get it, the foundation laid here pretty soon.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that. Sheriff Lombardo, thank you once again for joining us this morning. If you have a question for Sheriff Lombardo, you can submit it at 8newsnow.com and find out if your question is answered every Wednesday.